Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your astrological overview for week commencing the 20th of June. Of course, late last week, Venus moved into the sign of Cancer, where it really is at its spiritual best. Now, it's going to be joined by the Sun on Tuesday, but before then, we have on the first day of this week a really major astrological event. Yes, it's the summer solstice, at least in the northern hemisphere, and the winter solstice if you're down south. But on the same day, there is also the second full moon, or the blue moon, in the sign of Sagittarius. The last one, of course, happened 4 weeks ago. And that's very much about communications. And so therefore, as we sweep into this new week where emotions are going to become a much bigger part of what's going on, it is going to be important to choose our words carefully. And not least because Mercury and Saturn continue in rather a robustious opposition in the first 2 days of this week. And that can see us taking up positions that are rather stubborn or intransient and not wanting to be a little bit more flexible, when in fact Mercury in its home zone of Gemini and Saturn in Sagittarius really are urging us to be much more open-minded about different ways of doing things. But it does come down to information, and if you are questioned about something, take it down to the facts and figures. However, once the Sun does move on Tuesday into the sign of Cancer, it is broadly still going to be grabbing onto the coattails of Venus. And these two have of course been so influential in the sign of Gemini of late. Here in Cancer, this is much more about base camp, whereas Gemini was much more about enjoying the interaction that goes, the spark that goes between people. Whereas Venus and the Sun in Cancer, it is about how we feel about things. So watch out for that in terms of how you're handling things this week. But there is a alliance between Venus and Neptune as this week draws to a close, which can lead to the most highest form of love. So if you're lucky enough to encounter someone for the first time and you really chime, you're probably always going to have a very spiritual relationship, whatever happens to it. For some people, they may really be lucky and experience that true, purest love. On the other hand, if you're a single person, it may give you the aspiration to prepare yourself to get into the space to meet someone who can fulfill your deepest needs. So it's a very exciting week in terms of our emotional responses, but it does start off with that reverberation around how we communicate. And communication isn't just about ideas, it isn't just about words, it's about the ability to communicate how we feel. And that's something that is not easy at all. We're not often trained to communicate how we feel. Our conditioning is a lot to kind of hide how we feel. And so therefore that could be the challenge in the transition this week. Do we actually say it as exactly as it is, Mercury opposite Saturn, or and let our emotions control us, the full moon, the blue moon? Or do we make sure that the nurturing instinct, the instinct that at the end of the day we're all people on a journey, which is not always easy, and we perhaps need to cut people a little bit of slack in terms of the things and the times when they don't quite come up to our complete expectation. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.